Before I get to the subject at hand, permit me to speak briefly about the situation in Syria. It's impossible not to be moved by the scenes of jubilation, the scenes of relief coming out of Syria. People dancing in the streets, families weeping as they embrace children, husbands, wives, who've spent years locked away in the Assad regime's prison. After 14 years of conflict and decades of brutal repression under the Assad regime, Syrians finally feel hope for their future. The overwhelming majority of people in Syria have only known life under the iron fist of the Assads. Now, they will know something else. The end of this regime is a defeat for all who enabled its barbarity and its corruption, none more than Iran, Hezbollah, and Russia. So this moment presents a historic opportunity, but it also carries considerable risks. History shows how quickly moments of promise can descend into conflict and violence. ISIS will try to use this period to reestablish its capabilities, to create safe havens. As our precision strikes over the weekend demonstrate, we are determined not to let that happen, and will continue to protect our personnel against any threats from any quarters. The Syrian people have endured so much suffering. We have work to do to ensure that they endure no more. It's imperative that all actors involved protect civilians, respect human rights, especially of vulnerable minorities, preserve the state's institutions and services to help meet the needs of the Syrian people, and to build toward inclusive governance. Statements by rebel leaders to these ends are very welcome, but of course the real measure of their commitment is not just what they say, but what they do. We're engaging closely with our partners in the region on the situation in northeastern Syria, underscoring to all parties the need to de-escalate and protect civilian populations. And with every party we engage, we'll continue to seek information about Austin Tice so that we can find him and bring him home to his family and loved ones. The Syrian people have to be the ones to choose their path, their future. Senior officials from this department are fanning out through the region as we speak, working with counterparts on how the United States can help support the Syrian people as they decide their own path for the future, including now through providing humanitarian assistance directly to people, particularly those who've been displaced, and help them begin to recover. Over the coming days, I'll be in close consultations, as we've been throughout the weekend, with key allies and key partners in the region, as well as beyond. Now, the United States has clear and enduring interests in Syria. We have a strong interest in preventing the reemergence of ISIS, given the death and destruction that it's wrought for so long. We have a clear interest in ensuring that whatever weapons of mass destruction or components are left in Syria do not fall into the wrong hands. We have a clear interest in doing what we can to avoid the fragmentation of Syria, mass migrations from Syria, and, of course, the export of terrorism and extremism. The region and the world have a responsibility to support the Syrian people as they begin to rebuild their country and chart a new direction. The United States should be committed to supporting them as they do that.